Okay, so digital marketing.
Yeah.
It can feel like a fire hose sometimes, right?
Yeah.
There's just so much happening
Yeah.
all the time. New platforms,
Mm.
algorithms change it. Like,
Right.
it's hard to know where to even start.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why you shared this digital marketing cheat sheet with us.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it's a gold mine.
I think so.
But even a gold mine needs some sifting, right?
Oh, for sure.
So that's where you come in. You're
Yeah.
going to help us kind of extract
Absolutely.
those nuggets of wisdom and
Yeah.
figure out
Yeah.
what really matters for everyone listening.
It's all about finding the signal in the noise, and I think this cheat sheet is a great starting point.
I think so too. And it covers 8 key areas of digital marketing:
Right.
SEO, content marketing,
Right.
social media, email marketing,
Mm-hmm.
PPC analytics,
Mm-hmm.
conversion rate optimization, and influencer marketing.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It kind of makes you realize just how much goes into getting your message
Yeah.
out there,
Right.
doesn't it?
I think it really highlights the breadth of the field, but also how interconnected all of these strategies are. You
Yeah.
know? It's not about mastering every single one.
Right.
It's about choosing the right tools for your specific goals.
That is a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of goals, one thing that jumped out at me from this cheat sheet
Yeah.
is the sheer volume of ads that people see every day.
I know.
Between 4,000 and 10,000.
Oh my gosh. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Mm.
So how in the world are we supposed to break through all that clutter?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's why a strong foundation in SEO is so crucial, you know?
Yeah?
It's not just about ranking high on Google, but getting found by the right people at the right time.
Right. And so it's almost like building a house.
Uh-huh.
We need that solid foundation, and that's where SEO comes in.
Exactly.
And our cheat sheet breaks it down into 3 key areas: on-page SEO,
Right.
off-page SEO, and technical SEO.
Yeah, think of on-page SEO as the blueprint of your website. So it's about optimizing every element from the content itself to the way it's structured and coded so it can be easily understood and indexed by search engines.
Okay, and this is where keyword research becomes super important, right?
Absolutely.
Understanding what people are actually searching for and not just guessing.
Yeah, it's not just about throwing keywords in haphazardly, you know, it's about understanding user intent. Like, what are people actually looking for when they type in a certain query? That's where tools like SEMrush can be really powerful.
Okay.
They allow you to go beyond simple keyword research and analyze the entire search landscape.
Wow, that's fascinating. So it's almost like being a detective in a way,
Right.
figuring out all the clues to what people really want.
Exactly.
But it's not just about the words on the page, is it? What about off-page SEO?
Right.
That landscaping that we were talking about earlier.
So off-page SEO is all about building authority and credibility for your website.
Okay.
Think of it like getting endorsements from other trusted sources.
So like getting backlinks from other reputable websites in your niche?
Exactly. Or guest blogging on relevant platforms to reach a wider audience
Okay.
and establish yourself as a thought leader, you know? It's about showing search engines that your site is a valuable resource
Got it.
that people trust.
Okay, so we've got the blueprint with on-page.
Yeah.
We've got the landscaping with off-page.
Right.
But what about making sure that the house actually functions properly?
Exactly.
That's where technical SEO comes in.
This is about the nuts and bolts of your website.
Okay.
Things like site speed, mobile friendliness, and structured data. You know, Google's getting smarter all the time, and it wants to deliver the best possible user experience.
Yeah.
So if your site is slow, difficult to navigate, or doesn't render well on mobile devices, it's going to hurt your rankings.
That makes sense. And our cheat sheet specifically calls out mobile optimization
Yeah.
as being super important.
Mm-hmm.
More and more people are browsing on their phones these days.
Right.
It's got to be a seamless experience.
Absolutely. And a tool like Google Search Console can be invaluable here.
Okay.
It helps you identify any technical issues that might be affecting your site's performance, you know, from broken links to indexing errors.
So we've covered the 3 pillars of SEO:
Mm-hmm.
on-page, off-page, technical.
Yeah.
But now we need to fill this house with something, right?
Yes.
Bring on the furniture,
Uh-huh.
the decor,
Mm-hmm.
the things that make it a home, and that's where content marketing comes in.
Exactly. And the cheat sheet really emphasizes quality over quantity here.
Okay.
You know, it's not just about churning out blog posts
Right.
for the sake of it. It's about creating content that is truly valuable to your target audience. You know, content that informs, entertains, or solves a problem.
And this is where understanding your audience comes into play again, right?
Absolutely.
And knowing their pain points,
Yes.
their interests, their aspirations.
Tools like BuzzSumo can be really helpful here. You can see what content is already performing well in your niche, what topics are trending, what questions people are asking. It's a great way to get inspiration and validate your own content ideas.
So we're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Exactly.
We're being strategic and intentional
Right.
with our content creation.
And that strategy should include a variety of content formats.
Okay.
Blog posts, infographics, videos, podcasts, even interactive content like quizzes or polls.
You're speaking my language.
I know, right?
But creating great content is just the first step.
Right.
What about getting it in front of the right people?
That's where content distribution comes in. And this is where things start to get really interesting.
Okay.
Because now we're talking about social media.
Ooh, yes. The world of likes and shares.
Yeah.
And endless scrolling.
It can be a bit of a whirlwind.
Yeah.
But it's also an incredibly powerful tool for reaching your target audience and building relationships.
Our cheat sheet breaks down all the major players. Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, each with its own unique strengths.
Yeah.
And audience demographics.
So the key is to choose the platforms where your target audience is actually spending their time.
Right.
You know, no point creating amazing Instagram content if your ideal customer is hanging out on LinkedIn.
So true. And it's not just about posting randomly either.
No.
The cheat sheet emphasizes the importance of a social media strategy,
Right.
which includes
Knowing your goals, understanding your audience, creating engaging content, and tracking your results.
Okay.
Tools like Hootsuite or Buffer can be incredibly helpful for managing multiple social media accounts
Right.
and scheduling your content in advance.
So you're not constantly glued to your phone trying to keep up with everything.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of community management.
Okay.
You know, responding to comments, engaging with followers,
Mm-hmm.
participating in relevant conversations. That's what really builds trust and loyalty.
Makes sense. It's about being social on social media.
Oh.
Not just broadcasting your message into the void.
Right.
But let's move on to another essential channel,
Okay.
email marketing.
Email marketing.
Yeah.
Often overlooked, but still a powerhouse when it comes to nurturing leads, driving conversions, and building lasting relationships.
The cheat sheet talks about building your email list by offering something valuable
Right.
in exchange for those precious email addresses.
Yes.
So what are some good examples of that?
Think lead magnets like ebooks, checklists,
Okay.
templates, or even access to exclusive content. Give people a reason to hand over their email address.
And once you have that list, it's not about blasting everyone with the same generic message, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Our cheat sheet highlights the importance of segmentation.
Okay.
Dividing your email list into smaller groups based on demographics, interests, or past behavior. This allows you to personalize your emails,
Right.
making them more relevant and engaging for each subscriber.
So it's about sending the right message
Yes.
to the right person at the right time.
Exactly.
I can see how that would be much more effective than a one-size-fits-all approach.
Absolutely. And there are some fantastic email marketing platforms out there.
Yeah.
MailChimp, ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign
I've heard of those.
that can help you automate your email campaigns and track your results.
Okay, so we've covered SEO, content marketing, social media, and email marketing.
That's a lot.
It is. That's a lot of organic reach.
Uh-huh.
But what about giving our marketing efforts a little boost?
Okay.
That's where PPC advertising comes in, right?
Absolutely. PPC or pay-per-click advertising is a great way to get your message in front of a targeted audience quickly.
Okay.
And the king of PPC platforms is, of course, Google Ads.
Our cheat sheet breaks down the key elements of PPC,
Mm-hmm.
starting with keyword research,
Yes.
crafting compelling ad copy,
Yeah.
and setting up a landing page that converts.
Right. And with PPC, you're essentially bidding on keywords related to your business.
Okay.
So when someone searches for that keyword, your ad has the potential to appear at the top of the search results page.
And the beauty of PPC is that you only pay when someone actually clicks on your ad.
Exactly. It's a very measurable form of advertising, and you can track your return on investment very closely.
Right.
But it's also a very competitive landscape, so it's important to have a solid strategy and to constantly be testing and optimizing your campaigns.
All right, so we've got our website optimized for search engines. We're creating amazing content.
Right.
We're engaging on social media, nurturing our email list, and even dabbling in paid advertising.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. But how do we know if any of this is actually working?
Yeah, good question.
That's where analytics come in, right?
You got analytics are the lifeblood of any successful digital marketing campaign. You know,
Okay.
they allow you to track your progress, Identify what's working and make data-driven decisions to improve your results.
Our cheat sheet sings the praises of Google Analytics,
Yes.
the free tool that provides a treasure trove of data about your website traffic,
Right.
user behavior, and conversions.
It's like having a private investigator for your website, revealing who's visiting, what they're doing, and how they're finding you.
I like that.
But it can also be a bit overwhelming if you don't know what you're looking for.
So what are some of the key metrics that we should be focusing on?
Well, it depends on your goals, of course,
Mm.
but some of the most important metrics include website traffic bounce rate, conversion rate time on site,
Okay.
and pages per visit.
And by analyzing this data, we can start to see patterns and trends, right? Maybe
Yeah.
we notice that people are dropping off on a particular page, or that a certain campaign is driving a lot of traffic, but not many conversions.
Right, and that's where the magic of data-driven decision-making comes in.
Okay.
We can use these insights to adjust our strategies, optimize our website, and ultimately improve our results.
Okay, so we're tracking our data, we're making adjustments.
Yeah.
But now we need to make sure our website is actually working as hard as it can to turn those visitors into customers.
Right.
That's where conversion rate optimization, or CRO, comes into play.
CRO is all about making sure your website is designed to guide visitors towards taking a specific action.
Okay.
Whether that's signing up for your email list, making a purchase, or downloading a resource.
Our cheat sheet talks about optimizing landing pages, A/B, testing different elements to see what converts best,
Yeah,
and simplifying the checkout process to minimize cart abandonment.
It's all about understanding user behavior and removing any friction points that might be preventing them from converting.
So it's like removing those pesky obstacles in the sales funnel,
Yeah.
making it a smooth and enjoyable experience for the customer.
Exactly. And CRO is an ongoing process.
Okay.
You're always testing, analyzing, and refining your website to improve those conversion rates.
And finally, we have influencer marketing,
Yes.
which is becoming increasingly important in the digital landscape.
Absolutely. Influencer marketing is all about partnering with individuals who have already built trust and authority with your target audience.
Our cheat sheet stresses the importance of choosing the right influencers for your brand.
Right? It's not just about follower count.
Okay.
It's about finding influencers whose values align with yours and whose audience genuinely trusts their recommendations.
So it's about authenticity and genuine connection,
Exactly.
not just a quick shout out or a sponsored post.
Influencer marketing can take many forms,
Okay.
from product reviews and sponsored posts to giveaways and contests. The key is to find a format that works for your brand and your budget.
Okay, wow, we've covered a lot of ground today.
I know we have.
SEO, content marketing, social media, email marketing,
Yeah.
PPC analytics, CRO, and influencer marketing. It's enough to make your head spin.
It's definitely a lot to digest,
It is,
but I think it's important to remember that you don't have to do everything at once.
right? Rome wasn't built in a day,
Exactly.
and neither is a successful digital marketing strategy.
It's a journey, and the key is to keep learning, experimenting, and adapting along the way.
And that's what makes it so exciting. There's always something new to discover, a new strategy, to test a new way to connect with your audience.
Absolutely, and with the right tools and resources, that journey can be both rewarding and profitable.
Well said. And speaking of tools and resources,
Yeah.
our cheat sheet actually provides a great list of recommendations
Yeah.
for each of these areas we've discussed, but we're going to have to save that for part 2
Sounds good.
of our deep dive.
Oh,
So
yeah.
stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, let all this information sink in.
Yeah.
Think about which areas resonate most with you
Mm-hmm.
and what you might want to explore further.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the digital marketing cheat sheet.
I don't know about you, but after that first part, I'm feeling like I just ran a digital marketing marathon.
I know, right?
So much good stuff in that cheat sheet.
It really is a wealth of knowledge, but like we said, the key is to break it down into manageable pieces
Right.
and focus on what's most relevant for your unique goals.
Absolutely. And one thing that really struck me was how interconnected all these different digital marketing strategies are. It's not about picking one
Right.
and hoping for the best.
It's more like weaving a tapestry, isn't it?
Oh, I like that.
Each thread contributes to the overall beauty and strength of the final piece.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So it's not enough to just create amazing content.
Right.
We need to make sure it's seen by the right people.
Yeah.
That's where distribution comes in, and that's where things get really exciting. You know,
Yeah.
we've got social media,
Mm-hmm.
email marketing, even paid advertising, all working together.
And this is where things get strategic. You know, it's about understanding your audience, segmenting them,
Okay.
and tailoring your message to their specific needs and interests.
Personalization, that's a word that keeps coming up this cheat sheet.
Yeah.
It's about making each interaction feel relevant and meaningful, not just blasting out the same message to everyone.
Right. In a world saturated with information, people crave connection. They want to feel seen and heard.
Yeah.
So whether you're crafting targeted email campaigns, creating social media content that resonates with specific demographics, or using retargeting ads to bring back those hesitant visitors, personalization is key.
It's about building a relationship, not just making a sale.
Exactly.
And speaking of relationships, I'm curious to get your take on influencer marketing.
Yeah.
Seems like everyone's talking about it these days.
It's definitely a hot topic, and for good reason when done right. Influencer marketing can be incredibly effective.
Okay.
But the cheat sheet stresses the importance of authenticity.
Right.
It's not just about finding someone with a large following. It's about finding an influencer who genuinely aligns with your brand values and whose audience trusts their recommendations.
So it's about finding a true partner, not just a paid spokesperson.
Exactly. You want someone who genuinely believes in your product or service.
Right.
Someone who can authentically tell your story and connect with their audience on a deeper level.
And I imagine there are different levels of influencer marketing, right? You don't necessarily need a celebrity endorsement
Oh, for sure.
to make an impact.
Absolutely. Micro-influencers, those with smaller but highly engaged followings,
Okay.
can often be even more effective than big-name celebrities.
Interesting.
They tend to have a closer relationship with their audience and a higher level of trust.
So it's about finding the right fit,
Yeah,
not just chasing the biggest names. And I think that applies to a lot of these digital marketing strategies.
absolutely. There's no one-size-fits-all approach, What works for one business might not work for another.
Right.
It's about experimenting, analyzing your data, and finding what resonates with your specific target audience.
And that brings us to another important point. The digital marketing landscape is constantly evolving. What was working a year ago
I know.
might be completely irrelevant today.
It's true. New technologies changing consumer behaviors and even global events can have a significant impact on how we approach digital marketing.
So how do we stay ahead of the curve? How do we keep our skills sharp and our strategies relevant?
The cheat sheet emphasizes the importance of continuous learning, Follow industry blogs. Listen to podcasts like this one. Attend webinars. Connect with thought leaders on social media.
It's about being a lifelong learner, embracing that growth mindset.
Yeah.
And I think it's also about being willing to experiment, to try new things, and to not be afraid to fail.
Absolutely. The beauty of digital marketing is that it's so data-driven.
Right.
We can track our results, analyze what's working, and adjust our strategies accordingly.
So even failures can be valuable learning experiences.
Exactly. They provide insights that can inform our future decisions
Okay.
and help us refine our approach.
And speaking of refining our approach, the cheat sheet goes deep into the world of conversion rate optimization, or CRO.
Yes.
What are some of the key takeaways there?
CRO is all about maximizing the effectiveness of your website,
Okay.
turning those casual visitors into loyal customers.
And it involves a lot of testing and tweaking, right?
Absolutely. The cheat sheet highlights the importance of A/B testing, where you compare two versions of a web page or email to see which performs better, You're essentially running controlled experiments
Right.
to see what resonates with your audience and drives the most conversions.
So it's about taking a scientific approach
Exactly.
to website optimization.
And it's not just about the big things like website design or product descriptions.
Yeah.
Even small changes like the color of a button or the wording of a headline can have a significant impact on your conversion rate.
And that's where analytics come in again, right?
Oh.
We need to track those metrics to see what's working and what's not.
Absolutely. Analytics are essential for understanding user behavior and identifying areas for improvement.
I remember reading somewhere that the average website conversion rate is only around 2-3%.
Yeah.
That means 97-98% of visitors are leaving without taking the desired action.
It's a sobering statistic, but it also highlights the enormous potential of CRO.
Right.
Even a small improvement in your conversion rate can have a significant impact on your bottom line.
So it's about constantly looking for ways to improve the user experience,
Yeah,
remove friction points, and make it as easy as possible for people to convert.
exactly. And the cheat sheet provides some great tips for doing just that. Things like optimizing your landing pages,
Okay.
simplifying your checkout process, and using exit intent pop-ups to capture those hesitant visitors.
It's about creating a seamless and enjoyable experience for the customer from the moment they land on your website to the moment they complete their purchase.
And that brings us to another important aspect of digital marketing, one that the cheat sheet doesn't explicitly address, but that I think is woven throughout the entire source: the ethical considerations
Oh, it's interesting.
of digital marketing.
That's a really good point. With all this talk about optimization targeting and conversion rates,
Yeah,
it's easy to lose sight of the human element.
absolutely. As digital marketers, we have a responsibility to use our powers for good.
I like that.
We need to be transparent in our marketing efforts, respectful of user privacy,
Right.
and always mindful of the impact our actions have on others.
So it's about more than just driving clicks and conversions.
Yeah.
It's about building trust with our audience, fostering authentic connections, and using our skills to make a positive impact on the world.
Well said. It's about using digital marketing as a force for good,
Oh, yeah.
force that empowers consumers, builds trust, and drives positive change.
And with that inspiring thought,
Yeah.
let's take a moment to digest everything we've discussed so far.
Yeah.
When we return for part 3, we'll dive into the specific tools and resources mentioned in the cheat sheet.
Okay.
That can help you put all this knowledge into action.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked concepts, we've debated strategies, but now let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
What are the actual tools
Yeah.
that can help you bring this digital marketing cheat sheet to life?
That's where the rubber meets the road, right? And fortunately, this cheat sheet doesn't just tell us what to do.
Right.
It gives us the tools to do it.
Exactly. It's like having a treasure map,
Uh-huh.
but instead of X marks the spot, it's download this app.
Right.
Or check out this website.
And the best part is there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
From free tools to more robust platforms,
Right.
depending on your needs and your budget.
Let's start with SEO.
Okay.
We talked about how crucial keyword research is,
Yeah.
and the cheat sheet recommends Google Keyword Planner as a great starting point.
It is a great starting point.
It's free
Yeah.
and gives you insights into search volume competition and even related keywords that you might not have thought of.
It's a fantastic tool to get your feet wet and understand the basics of keyword research.
Okay.
But if you're looking for more in-depth analysis,
Yeah.
SEMrush is like the Swiss Army knife of SEO tools.
I've heard great things about SEMrush.
Yeah.
It can analyze your competitors' websites,
Mhm.
track your rankings, even audit your site for technical SEO issues.
It's a powerful platform, and there's a free version to explore,
Very
but
good.
even their paid plans are worth considering if you're serious about SEO.
And for those of us who are using WordPress, the Yoast SEO plugin
Oh, yeah.
is a must-have.
Absolutely.
It guides you through optimizing your content for search engines right within your WordPress dashboard.
It's like having an SEO coach
Yeah.
built right into your website.
Okay. Moving on to content marketing.
Mm.
The cheat sheet recommends Google Trends
Yeah.
for understanding what topics are hot right now.
Google Trends is
I
fascinating.
know, it's so fun to play with.
You can see how search interest in certain topics ebbs and flows over time, even compare different regions or demographics. It's a goldmine for content ideation.
And for creating that content, Canva is a game changer.
Canva's amazing.
Even if you're not a designer, you can create stunning visuals for your blog posts,
Right.
social media, even infographics.
Canva has democratized design.
Yeah.
Their templates and drag and drop interface make it so easy to create professional looking visuals.
And once you've created that amazing content,
Okay.
BuzzSumo can help you figure out how to get it seen. It analyzes what content is performing well in your niche and helps you identify influencers who might be interested in sharing it.
It's like a social listening tool. It gives you insights into what's resonating with your target audience.
Now, for managing the social media beast, tools like Hootsuite Buffer and Sprout Social
Yes.
can be lifesavers.
These platforms allow you to schedule your social media posts in advance, manage multiple accounts from one dashboard,
Right.
and track your performance.
No more scrambling to post at the last minute.
Exactly.
And for running paid social media ads,
Okay.
the Meta Ads Manager is your go-to platform for both Facebook and Instagram.
It's an incredibly powerful tool. It allows you to target your ads very specifically based on demographics, interests, even behaviors.
You can get really granular
You can.
with your targeting, which is essential for maximizing your return on investment.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about email marketing.
Okay.
The cheat sheet recommends several platforms, including MailChimp,
Yes.
ActiveCampaign ConvertKit, and Sendinblue.
These platforms offer a range of features,
Okay.
from building your email list to segmenting your audience and automating your email campaigns.
MailChimp is a popular choice for beginners because it's easy to use
Right.
and has a free plan for smaller lists.
And as you grow, platforms like ActiveCampaign and ConvertKit offer more advanced features like automation workflows and email sequences.
For those looking to dip their toes into PPC advertising, Google Ads is the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
It is the most popular PPC platform, and for good reason.
Yeah.
You can target your ads based on keywords, demographics, interests,
Right.
even past website behavior.
And while Google Analytics is essential for tracking your website traffic and user behavior,
Yeah.
tools like Hotjar and Crazy Egg provide more visual insights
Yeah.
into how people are actually interacting with your website.
They use heat maps and scroll maps to show you where people are clicking,
Okay.
how far they're scrolling, and where they're dropping off.
It's like seeing your website
Yeah.
through the eyes of your visitors.
Exactly.
And finally, for influencer marketing platforms like Upfluence, AspireIQ, and Traackr, can help you identify and connect with the right influencers for your brand.
They provide data on influencer reach, engagement, audience demographics, and even track the performance of your influencer campaigns.
So there you have it.
A whole toolbox.
A whole toolbox of resources.
By resources.
To help you put this digital marketing cheat sheet into action.
I know, it's almost overwhelming.
It is a little bit.
But in a good way.
But in the best way possible.
In a bad way.
It's exciting to know that there are so many options available no matter what your budget or level of expertise is.
And remember, this is just a starting point.
Yeah.
There are tons of other tools out there, and new ones are emerging all the time.
Right.
The key is to do your research, find the tools that best fit your needs, and never stop learning.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So there you have it, folks. Our deep dive into the digital marketing cheat sheet.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground. But hopefully you're feeling more informed, more empowered, and maybe even a little bit excited to tackle your own digital marketing challenges.
I hope so.
Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly.
Take it one step at a time. Experiment.
Yes.
Analyze your results, and never be afraid to ask for help.
Couldn't agree more.
And with that, we'll wrap up this episode. Until next time, happy marketing.